You ate pasta for dinner, maybe bread on the side. Nothing unusual. You go to bed feeling fine, and the next morning, before coffee, before anything, you check your glucose. 112. You didn't eat overnight. You slept reasonably well, and yet the number is higher than it was yesterday, when you had chicken and vegetables. If you've noticed this kind of pattern, dinner affecting a number you see the next morning, you're not imagining it. And you're not alone. This is one of the most common points of confusion for people in their 50s and 60s who are starting to pay closer attention to their blood sugar. The number doesn't feel connected to what you did 12 hours ago, but it is, and there's a clear reason why. First, this pattern is common after 50. That's not an excuse, it's context. As the body ages, the way it handles carbohydrates shifts. Cells that once responded quickly to insulin begin to respond more slowly. The liver, which plays a central role in regulating glucose overnight, can become more active in ways it didn't used to be. These are biological changes. They don't mean something has gone wrong with your choices. Many people assume that if they're careful, if they eat reasonably, avoid dessert, take their medication, the numbers should be stable. When they aren't, it feels like a failure. It rarely is. What's usually happening is that the system is responding to inputs from the previous evening in ways that take time to understand. The goal here isn't to alarm you. It's to explain one specific mechanism that connects what you eat at dinner to what your meter reads the next morning. Margaret is 62. She lives in Tampa. She was diagnosed with pre-diabetes a few years ago and has been on a low dose of metformin since then. She describes herself as eating reasonably healthy. She doesn't eat fast food. She limits sweets. But she notices that her morning readings are inconsistent in a way she can't explain. Some mornings, 98. Other mornings, 114. She's eating the same general diet. She's sleeping the same number of hours. When she asked her doctor about it, she was told to keep tracking. What Margaret hadn't connected, yet, was that the higher mornings tended to follow evenings when she'd had pasta, rice, or bread at dinner. Not a large amount, just a normal portion. Many adults quietly notice this same pattern. The number doesn't match the effort, and assume it's just the way things are now. It isn't arbitrary. There's a mechanism. And once you understand it, the readings start to make sense. The mechanism is called hepatic glucose output. It's the liver's ability to release stored glucose into the bloodstream, and it's one of the most important things happening in your body while you sleep. When you eat carbohydrates at dinner, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters the bloodstream. Your pancreas releases insulin in response. Insulin is the signal that tells your cells to take that glucose in and use it. For most of that process, things work the way they're supposed to. Think of insulin like a key and your cells like locks. In a body that's responding well to insulin, the key fits cleanly. But in someone with insulin resistance, which is what pre-diabetes reflects, the lock has become stiff. The key still works, but it takes more turns. The cells take longer to respond. The glucose from dinner stays in circulation a little longer before it clears. Now add the liver. Your liver stores a form of glucose called glycogen. Overnight, when your body is fasting, the liver is supposed to release small, measured amounts of glucose to keep your brain and organs supplied. This is normal. It's essential. But when insulin resistance is present, the liver's release mechanism loses some of its regulation. Instead of a slow, measured trickle, the liver may release more glucose than the body needs, particularly in the early morning hours, roughly from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. But here is where it becomes interesting. The size of that liver release is influenced by what happened the night before. A high carbohydrate dinner raises glucose and insulin levels in the evening. That insulin signal, even though it's weaker than ideal, still communicates to the liver. In a body with insulin resistance, that communication is imprecise. The liver may interpret the signal poorly and release more glucose during the night than it should. You wake up, check your meter, and the number reflects not just your fasting state, but hours of slow, unregulated release that began while you were asleep. This is why the pasta matters 12 hours later. It's not a mystery. It's a chain of events, and each link is explainable. Not every carbohydrate dinner produces the same response. This is where the picture becomes more specific and more useful. The type of carbohydrate matters. White rice, white bread, and refined pasta are digested quickly. They produce a faster, sharper glucose rise in the hours after dinner. The liver sees a larger insulin signal, and later, that larger signal may translate into a stronger overnight release. In contrast, carbohydrates paired with fiber, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, digest more slowly. The glucose rise after dinner is more gradual. The insulin signal is lower and more sustained. The liver receives a different message. What you eat alongside the carbohydrates also matters. Protein and fat slow digestion. A dinner that includes a significant source of protein, fish, chicken, eggs, legumes, slows the rate at which carbohydrates break down and enter the bloodstream. The glucose rise after the meal is flatter. The downstream effects are different. Timing plays a role as well. A heavy carbohydrate dinner eaten at 9 p.m. gives the body less time to process before the overnight fasting period begins. The glucose from that dinner may still be clearing when the liver begins its early morning release. These two processes can overlap, and when they do, the morning number tends to be higher. Speed of eating has also been studied in this context. A meal eaten slowly, over 20 to 25 minutes, produces a measurably lower post-meal glucose rise than the same meal eaten quickly. The food is the same. The timing changes what the body sees. None of this is about perfection. It's about understanding which variables are actually in play. Knowing the mechanism opens up a different kind of conversation, not about restriction, but about pairing and timing. If you're eating pasta, rice, or bread at dinner, what else is on the plate? If those carbohydrates are the centerpiece of the meal without much protein or fiber alongside them, the glucose rise after dinner is likely to be steeper. A modest addition, a source of protein, a vegetable, changes the rate of digestion without eliminating anything. How you structure the meal matters too. Some people find that starting with a salad or vegetables before the carbohydrate portion reduces the post-meal glucose spike. Not because of anything unusual, but because the fiber slows the digestive process for everything that follows. If dinner tends to be late, moving it earlier by 30 to 60 minutes gives the body more time to process before the overnight window begins. It's a small shift. The mechanism responds to it. And slowing down the pace of eating, setting a fork down between bites, taking a few minutes longer, is one of the simplest adjustments available. It doesn't require changing what you eat, just the rate at which you eat it. In some cases, when the body has what it needs to support these metabolic processes, adequate sleep, consistent meal timing, the right building blocks, the overnight glucose patterns can become more stable on their own. Biology responds to conditions. If you're seeing numbers like 110 in the morning, 160 after meals, or an A1C around 5.7 to 5.9, and you want a calm way to make sense of them, I've put this into a simple printable guide called Your First Glucose Checkup After 50. It walks through morning, meal, and A1C numbers in context and gives you a light tracking page you can bring to your clinician. You'll find a link to download it in the description below this video. You can print it and keep it near your meter, or open it on your phone if that's easier. Take a look and see what patterns show up for you, not just one number. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always speak with your healthcare professional before making changes to your health routine. Margaret still checks her glucose every morning. The number still moves. But when she sees a 111 after a pasta dinner, she doesn't assume something has gone wrong with her body. She understands the mechanism now. She knows which variables were in play the night before. She knows that the next morning, after chicken and vegetables, the number will likely be different. Not because she did everything right, but because she changed the inputs. That's the shift that matters. Not from confusion to control, from confusion to clarity. You don't need a perfect morning number. You need enough context to understand what the numbers are telling you, so that you and your clinician can make decisions together that actually reflect what's happening in your body. Watch the readings over time. Look for the patterns. Notice what dinner looks like on the nights before the higher mornings. Not perfection, clarity.